thought, man, you've been in this game for a long time, man. How is it, like, or have you ever been in any real beefs that we don't necessarily know about? Because the only beef that, I don't even want to call it beef, but the closest from the public eye that I've seen you get into beef, it was Nas.
Yeah, that's probably the only little bump in the road, you know what I'm saying? And that was something that, you know, we hadn't really met before when, you know what I mean, when we was going back and forth.
Right.
We wasn't really going back and forth, you know what I mean? Nas,
Now what happened?
Nas got on in some interview, he made a comment about it, you know, how whack it was for us to do the movie Bamboozled with Spike Lee,
okay,
and how you gonna call yourself the Roots and Black Thought or something, and you're portraying a group called the Alabama Porch Monkeys in Spike Lee's movie with the ball and chain and all, you know what I'm saying?
So he was going on his righteous path.
Nas was spazzing out on a lot of people during that point in time because he was losing his mom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So this was during the Ether time.
Yeah, he had actual beef during that time.
Right.
And you know, this was just, you know, a comment that he made about the Roots.
Right.
And you know, I hadn't really interacted with him at all up until that point. And then you know, there was a show one night with Talib Kweli. And I think Kweli invited Nas, and he invited me.
Right.
And we were all there in the building together. And you know, I had a chance to meet Nas, and you know, he explained to me that it was, you know, it wasn't coming from a personal place. You know what I'm saying? And he basically apologized. He told me he was going through it. He lost his mom. I could totally relate to that. I lost my mom when I was 17. You know what I mean? She's a murder victim.
Really?
Both my parents are murder victims. You know what I'm saying? Got killed in Philly, like random. Like with my pop, it was, you know, it was the life he was living. You know what I'm saying? He was dealing with, you know, a lot of people from the Nation of Islam back in the 60s and 70s, and dealing with a lot of people from, you know, Black Brothers Inc. in Philly, and that's the type of thing that it has the potential to bite you in the ass.
Right.
And I could just totally relate. Like, I was going through something when I lost my mom, you know what I'm saying?
Man, but to that lead up, man, were you at any point gearing to take Nas?
I was ready for whatever, yeah.
Okay,
I was going to take Nas that night, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it was like...
Now, there's a lot of talk. There was a lot of talk on the internet at the time as to who would take who.
I mean, I was ready for Nas that night. You know, when I heard he was gonna be there, I was, you know, you think a lot. I'm like, should I just slap the shit out of Nas? You know what I mean? Just on something, cause I know word of that, I get around, and it'd be like, oh, you know that, like, I mean, Nas said something about Thought, and then he slapped the shit out of him at the joint in New York. You know what I'm saying? But before any of that could, you know what I mean, really go down. He diffused it like, yeah, on some real, you know, on like some bigger man shit. You know what I mean? And it was done. And I left that shit alone right like then and there.